A senior executive at the National Science Foundation spent 331 days watching porn on his company computer.
Well, somebody had to do it.
That's a lot of days out of the year.
I'm going to do some quick math on that. Yeah, I'd say that's a majority of the year.
It's insane. I mean, look, first of all, I don't really know if I believe this story because there was one fact in here that didn't make any sense, right? It says that him watching porn for 331 days cost taxpayers $13,800 to $58,000. That's like a huge difference. I mean, anywhere between $1 and $1 million.
Well, it depends on how long he took to achieve his results. Oh. I hope he wasn't achieving results at work. I really hope so. Anyway, no. This is a real story, but you're right to be skeptical because it's actually from the Washington Times,
right?
Which is a conservative propaganda thing. And it's so funny the way they wrote the piece because now I read the same thing in another publication, but it didn't have the twist that Washington Times put on it. They're like, last year, it was the worst year for watching porn at the National Science Foundation. First of all, my guess is they're watching porn at every governmental organization and every private business, right? That you can do this about any company. What at IBM? We found an executive who watched porn for 350 days out of the year, right? But they're attacking the National Science Foundation because they have an agenda here, right? To some degree. And then what they never said in the article, which is really funny, is last year was the Bush administration, right? Mm-hmm. They made it appear as if it was a problem that's recent and that's happening now and worse than ever. But it was actually, I read the story earlier, and it was 100% the guys in the Bush administration, and they found out right at the end, okay? So it has nothing to do with Obama. But they didn't mention that at all, right, in the story. Funny. And then they say, all this taxpayer money being wasted. And that's the number you're talking about. But look, come on, guys. How many of you waste your either taxpayer money if you're working for the government or your company's money by doing whatever, playing solitaire, or filling out your brackets, talking to your friends either online or on the phone? Keep it real, man. You can do any kind of estimate and be like, did you know $58 billion were wasted by people using urinals? Yeah, I mean, if you're counting that way, it's a little silly. Now, don't get me wrong. The dude had to lay off the porn a little bit, okay? Right. Come on, that's a bit much. And he got fired. And I think he should have gotten fired. That's too much at work. And take it home, man. If you want to watch porn that much, take it home, right?
You know what? Another thing that I found fishy about this, and maybe you saw it in other articles or whatever, but I looked for it and I didn't find it. It doesn't name him anywhere. And whenever they don't name the person, I'm always super skeptical.
Now, that's just to protect his privacy in this case. The National Science Foundation, they had a whole bunch of guys. Some got suspended for 10 days, but they were not as egregious as this guy. They watched some porn, and they didn't want to let their names out to public.
And this guy actually retired before he got caught. Which is
right. That's right. He didn't get fired. He retired. He had to attend to his family, which he probably does. He's got a lot of explaining to do at home. That's for damn sure. All right, JR.
So, this is a government type of job, all right?
Yeah, yes, definitely.
331 days of porn?
Yeah.
You telling me he only got 34 days off of the entire year?
I know, that's the same thing I was thinking.
That makes no sense.
That's
you know
any
government job that gets 34 days off of the whole damn year?
That's
Please,
true.
Big lie.
Yeah, no, that's a great point, and I had the same thought. My only explanation for that, possible explanation, is that he took the computer home.
Yeah,
right?
like a laptop or something.
Like a laptop, and they're like, no, technically that's a government laptop, and if you're watching it porn, but the thing is, then he might have taken it home every night. You see what I'm saying? So in fact, he might not even been watching it at work. He might have been watching it at home, in which case I say, let him go, let him go. Oh, it's a government laptop. Who gives a shit? I mean, really, who cares? How much does it hurt the government laptop if you're looking at internet porn? Look, my rule is, don't be stupid. Don't get any viruses, okay, on the computer. And if you do, okay, then you got to pay up for that, okay? Right. And then number two is, just get your job done. I don't give a damn. I don't care if you're looking at porn for 7 hours out of the day. As long as you get your job done, I don't care, okay? But they get, once they get this, and it's a government job, it gets political. And so now the word on the street is they're not doing any science at the National Science Foundation. They're just going to work.
Right.
You know, and it's just, and that's the part that's totally bullshit about this story.